Hello, today I'm going to talk to you about the eCard and how you access it. Just going to go to my presentation here. It'll just help me guide me through this. And so it's going to be an introduction to the eCard. And so first of all, I want to talk about what is an eCard. Basically, it's just a spreadsheet designed to record scores electronically. And in every foursome, only one person has to record the scores. You don't all have to put them in. You don't put all your individual scores in. One person puts the foursome in. So one person usually gets to know that route. If you're in a regular group, most groups now have a designated scorer that doesn't mind doing it. This video is basically for new people that have been elected by their group to put it in, or if you're in a new group, one of you has to learn how to do this. Hopefully all four of you learn how to do it, but the video is here to help you through this. It may, if you're not technically savvy, it may look difficult at first, but in fact, once you've got everything in place, it's quite easy. And this year, I'm really excited, we've added live scoring. So as you're completing your scorecard, you finish your ninth hole, you've got all your scores in, and it'll automatically appear on our live leaderboard, and your scores will appear, and they'll be compared. You can compare them with everybody else's. We actually have a live leaderboard scorecard. So, and that's another video I'll put out. So how can you access the card? Well, basically there's two ways, and the way I prefer and the way I use is by a smartphone, because by the smartphone, I can put the scores in as we complete each hole. And also it helps now with our new real-time scoring, we can see the results right away. So that takes a bit of setup, and the next part of this video is dealing with that. The other way you can deal with it, and it's mainly for the elderly people who have failing eyes, and they record their scores by hand on the course, and then they go home and use their laptop or desktop to put the scores in. The video addresses both methods. If you're using this method, I would ask that you do that quickly so that we can get your results in quite on the live leaderboard. So what's in the video? One is instructions on setting up and accessing the scorecard via smartphone. Two, setting up instructions via your computer. And then I have a few notes on things you might run into trouble with, depending on what phone you're using and that type of thing. And then there's just one more thing I wanted to mention. In the next part of this video, where I recorded it last year, when you open up the file, it says Men's League Scores 2021. I've changed the name of that to Men's League Scorecard. I didn't want you to get confused, but it's the same file. I've just changed the name because now we've got a permanent card. So without further ado, I'll let you go to the next part of the video. Okay, so the first thing you want to do, if you don't already have it on your iPhone or your Android device, is to download Google Sheets. It's much easier to use that than your browser. So on my App Store, I'm going to go into the App Store. You type in at the top of in the search bar, Google Sheets. And in my case, on my phone, I already have it. So it says open. In your case, it might say get. So you want to get that or load it or download it or whatever. So I'm going to go to Google Sheets on my iPhone, and it's a second icon to the right. You just click on it, and because I sent you and because I gave you access to Men's League Scores 2021, it should appear in the Google Sheets. And in my case here, you'll see it's the first one loaded. If you click on that, you'll open up into the eCard, and the first page is the instruction sheet. Look at the very bottom of the page, you'll see the word instruction sheet. The bottom of the page contains all the tabs, and I'm going to scroll to the right, to scroll through them. These numbers on the right are times. They're your tee-off times. Ignore the A or the P in front. They're just for my purposes to help me sort things out. But the times are there, and so I'm going to sort, and I'm going to go to a tee-off time of 12:58. That already has the names of the golfers that are going to be playing in that particular foursome. If you've signed up as of Tuesday, the day before Men's League, That's where I get this data from. So if anything's changed between Tuesday and Wednesday, these names may not be correct. If it's not correct, just go and change the last name that's not supposed to be there, insert the new name that's supposed to be there, or just take it out altogether. In this case, it's Steve Liddell, Neil Ewert, Will Loudon, and Mike White that are playing. And I'm going to start entering scores. So if you're on the course, at the end of each hole, you can put in the scores for each of these players. Notice that the putts are all defaulted to 2. So that if somebody gets, most of you will get 2 putts per green, but you can change that to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, or whatever number you want to put in there. So in Steve's case, there's a downward arrow under his score for hole number 1. If I click on that, up pops a menu of possible scores for Steve. Now, Steve's a good golfer, so I'm going to give him a 4. If it's a par on a hole, the score will appear in green. So in this case, number 1's a par 4. He's got a green 4. I'm not going to fill in the ones for Neil and Will Loudon or Mike White. I'm just going to go through Steve Liddell's. He had 2 putts on the first, so he got a 4. On the second hole, he also got a 4. Third hole, he got a 4. Fourth hole, he got a 4. And look what happens on the 5th hole. The 5th hole is a par 5. I'm going to give Steve, he's playing really well. He's burning it up. He got a birdie. He got a birdie 4. And notice that the score now appears with a green background. That indicates you've got a birdie. Unfortunately, number 6, he got another 4. And now that's a bogey. And that bogey appears in red. Number 7, he didn't golf so well. He got a 6 on that one. And a double bogey and above appears with a red background with white lettering. And he 3-putted that hole, so I'm going to give him 3 putts. Number 8, I'll be a little kinder to Steve. Give him a 3, par 4. And number 9, he got a bogey. So notice at the bottom of the screen, it totals up what he has for his score, which is a 38, very respectable for the front 9, and 19 putts. So once you're done entering all scores that way on the course, all you got to do is close the app by swiping upwards if you have an iPhone, or whatever you have to do on an Android device, and that's it. You don't have to save anything. The beauty of the eCard is, once you enter a score, it's automatically saved. Each score is saved as you click it in. I'm getting it on my screen here in my basement here. So I have all that information. Don't worry about saving it. I've got it. So now we're going to go in and how you access this through the website. How do I get this on my computer? You've chosen to record your score by hand on the course, and now you want to go home and use the computer link and use your desktop or laptop to enter the scores. So the easiest way to do that is to go to the website. And when you go to the website, which is right here, you go to the bottom of the page of the website. You can see that there's a website, but if you go to the way at the bottom, it says eCard instructions. There's a link here called Men's League Scorecard. If you click on that link, it will take you to the scorecard. And then it's just a simple matter letting it load in here. And I just want to show you, looking for your tee-off times. You look for your tee-off time at the bottom. These are the tee-off times. It's 11, 12. You can go right to whatever time you have and then put in your score. So if it's at 145, you can put in your score at 145. And this score has already been put in because I've been playing around with the data a little bit. So the other way of addressing this is that I do send you through my email every week, a link to the card. So there should be no reason. You have enough copies of that or enough links to it. The other thing I wanted to mention is that this link will work on an Apple device through your browser Safari. So if you didn't load in the Google Sheets, if you decided you didn't want to do that, you should be able to use that link in the browser Safari to fill in your card. On an Android device, we've had some problems with that thing because they use Chrome, and for some reason the Chrome and Sheets don't talk to each other very well on an Android device, which is unusual because they're both made by Google. Some have had success, some haven't. So if you have an Android device, I strongly recommend you download Google Sheets and get it through there. Once you've downloaded Google Sheets, I will, if I haven't already sent you, I will invite you to Google Sheets, to the Men's League scorecard, and you will get a message saying you've been invited. Just click on that message and the scorecard will open. If I haven't invited you, send me an email right away and I'll share with you that email as soon as possible. Okay, so that's all I have about the eCard scoring. If there are any difficulties, contact me directly and I'll walk you through it. I have no problem. There are several people who have done this in the past. They know it inside out, so you can ask them, especially a score of another foursome. And again, I emphasize that if you get your scores in right away, you'll the live leaderboard will take on a new meeting. You'll be able to see everybody's scores as quickly as possible. If you can't do that, if you have to go home and put them in, I ask you put them in as quickly as possible so that everybody can share in your scores and see how you did. You can compare yourself to how you did with other golfers. That's all for this video, and see you in the next one.